dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. It's almost like a broken record. When the mountain people are called upon, they step up. As the miners of Black Jewel sit at the railroad tracks to block a train from bringing coal out, people and groups stop by to bring by food. WYMT's Will Puckett is live in Harlan County with the latest. Will?
Steve, it's been almost a steady stream of people stopping by to show these miners and their families that they support them through this difficult time. Earlier today, John Evan Jack's restaurant from Corbin made the almost hour-and-a-half drive up here to Cumberland in Harlan County to feed these miners and their families free of charge. It's the sizzle of a grill that for some may seem like a happy place, but today it marks a helping hand.
Yeah, I just seen these people, you know, they need help. I know what it's like to go without a paycheck.
With enough food to feed this army, Nathan Brown and a handful or trailer full of helpers drove down here to show their support.
I think they already know their community supports them. So, you know, I've seen a lot of people dropping water and all that stuff off. That's really cool.
Showing that near or far in the mountains, we're all family.
You know, I got a lot, my family has mined these mines as long as I can remember. So, you know, the pride that we have in each other and you know, when we're in need in Eastern Kentucky, we step up and we help each other. Steve, fried catfish, hamburgers, French fries, hush puppies, on top of the countless boxes of pizza that have been brought by. Actually, a restaurant from Harlan just brought by Mexican food, including donuts and hot coffee this morning. These miners are feeling the support from Harlan County and the surrounding counties. This is a difficult time for everyone, but it might make things just a little bit easier knowing that their community supports them. Live in Harlan County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Sounds like they're definitely not going to go hungry there. Will, thank you very much. A Somerset police sergeant is on administrative leave after police say he shot his son. Yesterday, Kentucky State Police were called to a shooting on Starlight Drive in Pulaski County. Troopers say 24-year-old Devin Griffith had been shot by his father, 47-year-old Jason Griffith. They say the shooting stemmed from an argument between the two. Devin Griffith was flown to UK Hospital where he's being treated for his injuries and is listed in stable condition. A Somerset police spokesperson confirms that Jason Griffith is a sergeant with Somerset Police. He is on administrative leave while state police investigate. The case will be heard by a grand jury.
And we've seen those pop-up showers and storms throughout the day today, hearing a little bit of thunder, I think, here at the station. You'll notice, though, some of us have definitely remained on the drier side, looking over to Jenkins. Maybe a pop-up shower there, but really it's been mostly dry over there. Looking on top of Buffalo Mountain, there's that shower starting to move into parts of Perry County. You could see heavy rain moving in, a little bit of a thunderstorm over there. And as we look at satellite and radar, really those scattered showers and thunderstorms have continued to pop up throughout the day, and that's due to that cold front that will be continuing to move through the mountains. And as we scan the skies now, that storm actually that we just heard here in Hazard is still all the way out in Leslie County. We're even seeing some storms moving into parts of Breathitt County, Magoffin County as well. Keeping a close eye on those storms that just moved out of Lexington. I know that they produced some pretty heavy rain over there. Really that main threat, though, is going to be that heavy rain. We also have an aerial flood advisory that just was issued for parts of Powell County. This goes until about 7:30. Keeping a close eye on them as that next line will continue to push through the mountains. So you can see those areas that have seen rain definitely getting a nice little cool down. Other areas a little bit hot, a little bit humid as well. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.
All right, Paige, thank you. School districts in Kentucky are now working to make their schools compliant after a new law that was recently passed in the General Assembly. WYMT's Buddy Forbes spoke to the Floyd County School Superintendent Danny Atkins, who says the district is working to get things in place by the first day of school.
When the school year begins, students in Kentucky will see a new addition to their schools.
The new initiative that's going into effect requires every school district to place "In God We Trust" in every school.
Signs are now placed in schools across the state in fulfillment of new legislation, which recently passed through the General Assembly.
They require that it be placed towards the front of the building, somewhere in the vicinity of the front office.
The national motto will soon be placed in Floyd County schools, where Superintendent Danny Adkins says it will not change anything.
They hold prayer services at the flagpole, which are student-led.
Adkins says the schools already allow students to practice their freedom of religion and says it's not a movement against anything, rather a fulfillment of law.
This has been a state requirement for us to place the "In God We Trust." So it very well could even give the students a little more freedom.
Still, he thinks the transition will be smooth.
We don't see an issue at all in Floyd County. Actually, I think our community will embrace this.
He also says it will not be an expensive project.
We'll be in full compliance by the first day of school. We have our signage ordered. We're somewhere in the neighborhood of $20, $25 per school.
And says it will not change anything about the way the schools operate. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT, Mountain News.
The American Civil Liberties Union opposed that bill, saying the motto has the appearance of endorsing religion. They encourage parents or students who feel their rights are being violated to contact the organization. UK resident advisors will receive $900 worth of Visa gift cards, free laundry, and special events to make up for having a roommate. A record high enrollment and number of returning students has left 3,500 students without a room assignment. University officials announced some RAs would be sharing rooms with incoming students. An online petition signed by 4,000 people and counting outlines alternatives to sharing rooms. A group of RAs are concerned about a lack of privacy and said the compensation won't take away the burden placed on students. A small number of RAs have resigned. UK said all enrolled students who applied for housing will have a room by the end of the week. The Democratic candidate for governor says he has a plan to cut down on corruption in state government. Andy Beshear is proposing term limits and a lifetime lobbying ban for lawmakers in the Commonwealth. In an interview with our sister station WKYT, Beshear says his plan also calls for limiting state representatives to 4 consecutive terms and 2 terms for state senators. He is also calling for a lifetime ban for lawmakers to become lobbyists.
There shouldn't be a revolving door from public service to private enrichment based on that public service.
Under current law, lawmakers now have to wait 2 years after leaving office before registering as legislative lobbyists, unless it's for a public agency. Right now, people living near a destroyed Jim Beam bourbon warehouse say their water is still affected. A fire not only destroyed the warehouse, but runoff from that blaze also led to the deaths of thousands of fish. This is causing concern for customers in the Peaks Mill Water District. Some are noticing a different taste along with an odd odor. Chelsea Jones talked with officials about the status of the area water.
Well, residents throughout the Peaks Mill Water District have been complaining about a foul odor and sweet taste in their tap water. But Franklin County officials say it's safe to drink.
It's just one of those unfortunate situations taking about a month.
They tell us it has to do with the Jim Beam fire and bourbon spill that happened 4 weeks ago. Yesterday, officials submitted water samples for testing. They say results from the Mount Vernon area indicate the water is safe to drink. They're still in the process of testing water samples from Gregory Woods, Peyton Ridge, and Teresita areas.
When something goes wrong, it seems like everything goes wrong. We've developed a leak on the back end of our system, which is prohibited, slowing us down or prohibited us from doing any flushing of the mains until we find that water leak.
The Frankfort Plant Board is also warning residents about a possible chlorine smell in the water. They say that's because they had to make some changes to the disinfection process over the weekend after some equipment malfunctioned. But they are telling residents that the water is still safe to use and drink. For now in Franklin County, Chelsea Jones.
Officials with Kentucky Fish and Wildlife say the Kentucky River is now safe for fish. They tell us dissolved oxygen levels have returned to normal. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, what to expect tonight when 10 presidential hopefuls meet on a debate stage in Detroit.
And those scattered rain chances continue, but we'll be drying out and then looking at a pretty nice weekend ahead. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up next.